So, welcome everyone. This is a demonstration of a SoilWise project related to the user case free, which I'm coordinating for SoilWise. I'm from CREA, Italy. And so the user case free is about the stakeholders related to policymaking. What's SoilWise? SoilWise is a project financed by the European Commission, which is aimed at producing an open access knowledge and data repository to safeguard soils. Then going on with the next slide, how do like this maybe? Yes, no, I have done too much. Yes, this. So, the agenda of this demonstration, first of all, I will present the project. Then I will have a demonstration of the repository that is one of the main results for SoilWise. Then there will be a short coffee break, and then there will be a presentation also on what it makes some tools that we are willing to also develop to make data interoperable. And then finally a Mentimeter. Okay, I have problem in finding how to move on the slides. Sorry. Yes, now I found. So, SoilWise is a project which is of a 4-year project, and we are at the middle of the project. It's user case oriented, so we are also involved in stakeholders of different categories to check what we develop. I present which is the main aim, so making data findable, interoperable, accessible, and reusable. So apply the FAIR principle to the data. And yes, SoilWise has also inherited what was done under EGPT Soil program, to which several of you, which I invited, have participated. And is contributing to the European Soil Observatory. So the final result of SoilWise will lead to the construction of the European Soil Observatory. That's soil data and knowledge infrastructure. Why SoilWise? Because we all know that a lot of data in the domain of soil are currently produced and now and in the past, and there is in the future there will be even more than in the past, because soils is under attention by several groups, different groups, so private and public stakeholders produce a lot of data. But this data, it is not always available, as I said, it doesn't follow the FAIR principle actually. So there is less data, far less data available than what should be theoretically that has been produced. So the aim is to make this data as much as possible available and also interoperable and usable and harmonized. What SoilWise is intended to do, so to provide a single access point, index the data and knowledge, establish a federation catalog, make hopefully your life easier in the use of this data and knowledge. What will not do? We are not going to copy or store your data, so the data still stays at the owners. Neither control the data or steal the data, or use in a way that is goes against your permission or your rules. And yes, as I said, these are the stakeholder groups that we are involving. So in our user case and in for today, we are about the use case for policymakers and national authorities. Okay, I want to also show you which are supposed to be the expected impacts related to our use case, so policy. So, for example, improved and more efficient reporting pipelines. What does it mean? That all of us are involving also in the reporting the health state of soils. We use different tools to do this. And all the times that there is some kind of sharing of a soil health state, different tools are used and definitions, and maybe this is it needs to be improved. Then also have this data harmonized because again, there are different definitions among the member states, and although there was an INSPIRE regulation, and it is already, in place and should be fully implemented, the INSPIRE regulation, we know that it is not fully implemented also for problems linked to the technical solutions to make this data really interoperable and harmonized. Then what it is this for in our case, we have to implement soil mission, and the EU policies. So this data, the policies should be supported by data, by evidences. So the final goal is to support the implementation of EU policies in relation to soil. Then efficient knowledge management, and yes, they contribute finally to the European Soil Observatory. Okay, so now I will have an interactive session presenting you some of, yes, what I want to show you is comparing what we can do with what it is available up to now, so to look for soil data, and how now, which is the current state of the SoilWise repository, and just to see which are the kind of data sets that we can find using different tools, including the SoilWise repository. So what I'm going to look for, since I'm Italian, I come from Italy, is using the keywords in Italian. So soil, suolo, and Italia. And I will go to show you which are actually the results that will come from this. And so to do this, I have, yes. So first of all, the INSPIRE Job Portal. The INSPIRE Job Portal should show all the data that environmental data that are produced by member states. And so if you look for team soil, these are the data sets currently shown. There are even some important countries, for example, France is very quite strange that no data is mentioned in the INSPIRE portal. And in the case of Italy, yes, it is mentioned that there are a lot of data sets, but if you flag for national ones, you will see that for Italy, only 2 data sets are mentioned. And if you go to see what are actually these 2 data sets, only one map is really related to soils, which is this map. This other map, it doesn't seem to be really related to soil. So actually, we know that the soil data in Italy is much more than this for the whole country. Then I will show you what's about the national catalog for Italy. So this is the national catalog. If you write down these terms that I mentioned you, so suolo, and you click for, you will find these results. One in each page are shown 15 results of a total of 41. And if you look for the results, also in this case, you cannot maybe understand Italian, but I can tell you that the most of these data are not really about the soil, because you see we have burn risk, and then we have soil use, so not just soil, but land use. And yes, you may find really soil data, but for example, this is a risk of desertification, which is linked to soils. But finally, again, if you could have a look to all this data, me, that I know which data is available for soil, I can check that a lot of this data that should be there is not there, actually, and there is maybe some data that it is not really soil. And I would like to show you for Italy that the institution I belong to, CREA, is also supporting with a catalog of data and information produced. So, for example, you can go here and you can find maps. So these are maps in the real term of the as map is. So printed maps, but also available as a shapefile for some of these these maps. Then you have also layers, which actually layers is meant to be data sets actually for soil. So for example, Italian soil information system, and so you have a large list of real soil datasets that have been produced by the group InfoSoil, for which I work with, that actually you couldn't find in these other sources. And then this data, if you go then to here and you look for, as I told you, soil and Italy in Zenodo. Okay. Again, you can find a lot of information. If you want only data sets, you will find a lot of information that at least is really soil data, among which I find something that I also know. So, for example, this is one of the results that we have produced, and so you can find that in Zenodo there is already a lot of information for soil. Okay, and then another way to find out soil data is SDAC. If you go to data sets, you can find also the data sets are European wide. So if you go to look for data sets under SDAC, you find EU-wide data sets, not national data set, but you can find instead maps through here. Yes, here, maps. And in this case, you can have also national maps. Also, but not datasets, national datasets. So this was just to show you what is the case looking for data. You can even find directly in Google. So for example, you can write down soil and Italy. And yes, the first result that you find actually is a map under SDAC that we have produced. No, it's not this one, is this one. But yes, not all that it's available actually for soil for Italy. Then, going now to the SoilWise repository, let's have a try. And so we put soil and Italy, or maybe soil Italy. And let's see what happens here. Okay, you will find a lot of results, so maybe just apply a filter, just going only to Italy. Okay, and so applying a filter. And then you could also apply another kind of filter that it is this one. So you can find, for example, you are all interested in datasets. Okay, so you find really a lot of information. We have 140 results. I was trying to see if among these datasets there were soil data only, or it is actually at least it's a good filter for only soil data. So compared to other catalog is domain is good for the domain. And I also could find that, for example, the dataset that we have produced at CREA are there, so good. And so I think that actually there is really a lot of information. Yes, maybe not everything is really only soil, but maybe it's related to soil. So, for example, this cropland intensification on management, probably because it's affecting soil. So there is a keyword linked to soil in this case. But yes, maybe here the problem is that if you would like to have really only soil maps, maybe there is the need of some more filters. So this is actually why I'm doing this demonstration to you, because we, as a stakeholder group, we would like to have life easier when we are willing to produce some reporting on the state of soil of Italy, for example. We should be enabled to find out what we need in a proper way. So maybe there is the need for us to check, first of all, if the data that we know is available for our countries is there actually. And secondly, if it's possible to extract what we really need from this tool. Yes, so for the interactive session, I think that this is what I was willing to show you. And so I will close all these things and maybe just unshare now, or maybe go back to the presentation. Here. Yes, I was also willing to show you that we have done also under GPSol this analysis of where the data is, and if the Inspire it's implemented in the countries. And there are these very important in chapter 4. There is a list for all the member states that participated to the project of the linkage to the national portals, which is an important tool, and also the authorities for each country that are demanded for the Inspire implementation. And yes, for the agenda, there was coffee now, so maybe I was much faster than foreseen. So maybe in this case, I think that I could also open a little bit to your comments. If somebody has a comment on what I have presented up to now, please feel free also to raise your hand and give me a feedback on what I have presented up to now. I see that anyone is willing to intervene. So maybe was everything too clear, or maybe it's is not what you thought was to be. You do not need more explanation. Okay, so in this case, I think that it's too early to have a break, maybe, so I will go on with the further slides. So up to now, I have presented the repository, so the aim of this repository. But as I mentioned you, we in SoilWise, we are also willing to work towards interoperability of the datasets. So here it goes, the further slides. So there is a large history here about the harmonization of soil data. There has been a lot of efforts in several international projects, even going not only in Europe, but in other continents. And actually, there is GLOSIS also that is doing a lot of work and efforts in also inheriting all these activities for the harmonization and standardization of soil data. Yes, and also GPSoil gave its contribution to this, as I mentioned. So actually what is going on in this sense under SoilWise, this is what was done in GPSoil. So the idea has been to provide the tools to make data interoperable. So we speak about templates to store the data, code lists that are a list of vocabularies and definitions standardized that can be used inside the databases to have a structured definition of the different terms. And what we have produced under GPSoil, and there was also some presentation specifically on this tool, is a GeoPackage. The GeoPackage is currently under revision in SoilWise to make it also compliant with the needs for the European Environmental Agency reporting, because we are interacting actually with the European Environmental Agency to have this tool also compliant with the needs of the reporting for soil health state. And so also in this case, if the member states and the technical people involved in reporting is willing to participate to this activity, we could also involve stakeholders in what we are doing now. Unfortunately, today, I didn't know that there is a contemporary an EONET meeting, so a meeting of the European Environmental Agency member. So they cannot participate in this demonstration. But yes, I think that maybe we can have in the next month another meeting to also involve the network. So in relation to the GeoPackage, which are the advantage of this tool is that it is compliant. We have done a great job to make it compliant to INSPIRE UML structure. And it's directly usable into QGIS, and it already contains all the information related to soil in a way that it has been also transformed to the GML and also accredited to be INSPIRE compliant, so validated. And there has been already some demonstration on this tool, so I will not enter into detail. You can find this demonstration on the YouTube channel of AGP Soil. Okay, so since I do not see reaction, maybe we can go to this Mentimeter. So I ask to people who is in the meeting to have to enter this link, and then I will also present it. Okay. So only 3 have answered. So I think that I will wait a little bit more to leave all people to answer. How many are we in the meeting? Yeah, 20 people. So maybe I will leave some minutes more. Okay, so the countries. To which country? I see that people is going on. They have already compiled. So the most country is Italy. We have also Morocco. Wow. Didn't thought that we would have also outside Europe. I think that the ones who answered the first already answered the second also. Okay. Yes, this is a quite important question. So, looking for the key objectives of SoilWise, which one you think is more relevant for your activities? So please, this maybe is a little bit much difficult than the other one, the previous ones, but The problem I see here is that the objectives are not are cut. I mean, they are not shown. But okay. Okay. Well, I think that I can go to the next one, but people is still answering. Mhm. Yes, people is still answering. How do you read from expected outcomes? Okay. Okay, so I see that soil monitoring actually is the most voted in this case. Yeah, which I think makes sense for this group. Okay. Yes, and this, if you could write some suggestions, show you on the repository. Could you give us suggestions for improvement? Hmm. I see that there is no suggestion, so it's again that you think is already good, or that maybe you need more time to understand what's about this repository. And I have also sent you by email the direct link to this and other things produced by SoilWise. It's important that you also make your search inside the SoilWise repository. And as I have done, for example, for Italy, to see what's there, if it enables finding more things, I think that it is important to have this also done for other countries to check if what's available for your countries that you know better, it's findable through the SoilWise repository. And also, I think if you can find what is really relevant for what you need in the specific case. Okay, so I see some suggestion. I need to investigate more the repository. Yes, true. It's what I said. It's important that you enter the SoilWise repository by yourself, make some search, try to use, and then give a feedback on what you find out for improvement to the repository. These demonstrations are really aimed to check on what has been released and if there is need to improve. And I see that there is suggestion for user guidelines, and this is interesting as a suggestion. And you also, this suggestion relates, instead of having maybe two more things that maybe are not related, so some filters also in the ingestion of the data. And this is also thing to think about. Yeah. But yeah, maybe we should discuss after with the open discussion, because maybe some results. I mean, for soil, there is the problem that you may have soil intended as soil, or land use, which is actually the use of soil, which is a different thing. And you may have sometimes, for example, geology that is not really soil. But I think that maybe in the SoilWise repository, maybe it's need to have a better check. But at least I found more, in the case at least for Italy, more domain-related results as in the national catalog, for example. So this is something also to check. And yeah, going on. So I see that no more suggestions. Okay, so what can be improved? This is also very important to know. And so, I mean, what it's because this is you need to say what you think is more important to do among the different activities ongoing in SoilWise. And so it's important also to know from you which are the most relevant things to go on. And actually see that the repository is the first one, but only 3 people answered. So please compile also this. So please, very few people. I mean, today I show you only the repository actually, but I mean, generally speaking, you may also imagine other kind of tools that can be developed by or improved, because actually are already there, some of these. But yes, some can be improved and some can be developed. So for example, this guidance on fairness is under development. So could be that also you are interested on this. I see that the template for standardized data sharing is getting good result. Nice to know this. Yeah, the problem is that only 5 people is answering in this moment. Now we have 7, it'll be more. Okay, what I can see that the strongly disagree is not present for any of these things. So also this is good. Okay. Okay. So I can see that the winner is the repository and then the template. But they are really making a competition between the repository and the template. Okay. Okay. And yes, what else do you expect SoilWise to develop? So guidance. Guidance is coming up also in the previous suggestions again. But guidance for what? And so in general, for everything, maybe. Interaction mechanism with other projects and data producer. Yes, this is in place actually, at least for the submission projects. There is a strong interaction with them. Generally speaking, with a data producer, actually, we are linked to this the different stakeholders group. So, for example, in your case, is data owners, national data owners. Maybe there is a need to have I can intend this as a mechanism that maybe is more automatized, could be, but there is a harvesting tool actually that is developed in SoilWise, so that there can be an automatic harvesting of data that is made available by the producer. Accepted definition of soil health and soil health indicator. Yes. Yeah, I mean, there has been a lot of work on this, for example, but if people write down this, I think that this means that there is yet a lot of work to do also in this sense. Templates, okay, that's good. Data insights, what does it mean, data insights? Maybe the one who wrote this would be good to understand what is meant for data insights. But maybe people is very shy today. And yes, only 3 has answered this, so please write down other suggestions. And maybe you can write in the chat what's the meaning for this term, data insights. Giovanni?
Maria, I haven't written data insight, but Zenodo offer data insights offers a preview on some kind of data like CSV and PDF file or image file. So if you upload into the repository such files, you can have a preview of data. And I suppose that who is suggested data insight suggested something like that.
Okay, so something like a preview of the data, or maybe information on the format. What's the meaning of this insight in Zenodo?
I suppose something like a preview of data. So some more information about the data you are going to access.
Okay. So they need to improve what is shown actually in the catalog. Okay. Okay, then I think that maybe this is the last question, I think, if I remember the Menti. And yes, this is, I put this because I think that after this, this is a demonstration of what is going on up to now, but the idea is that we could also have some more interaction to have co-creation of what we are doing. So to having some feedbacks more frequent on what is there. And so, yes, I was willing also to know if there is willingness to spend time in this collaboration from this group. Some people says that would like but do not have time. Yeah, this could be. We are all very busy in all the activities. And I see, because I also put two different, the two questions were intended to understand as far one want only to give feedback to what is already produced, or maybe participate in a co-creation, which is quite different. And yeah, few people have answered, so I do not have a full idea, but it seems that the feedback is more relevant than participating. And I see also that somebody is not interested at all. Okay. And the main would like but do not have time. Okay. Yes, at least these that wrote that would like to have regular meetings for feedback, maybe they could send to me an email so that we can know actually who they are. Okay. And yes, so this is finished. Okay, so so first of all, I would like to know by the colleagues from SoilWise, for example, I saw that there was here Paul. I don't know if he's still there. Yes. Because I'm not sure that I have presented all the functionalities of the repository. Maybe some more things could be presented today to make a good insight. I mean, yes, exactly, insight, as was mentioned by some of you, of what is feasible through the repository. And yes, generally speaking, I would like to hear from you also having a more interactive, apart from the Menti. So I really thanks people who has compiled the Menti. Maybe it would be also useful to have open discussion. I have already seen in agenda also this, that we could also have an open discussion on the topic that is the topic of SoilWise, and what you see that kind of this project could help in your daily work, and what we think that we want to produce and improve. So please. I see that no one wants to intervene actually, so maybe it's a topic too difficult and
So maybe it was mentioned before already, but just in cases, are there any specific knowledge items that you do not find in the repository for the countries that are here today?
if they have entered in the repository, because I was sending by mail the link to also to the catalog and so on, but I don't know if people had time as entered the repository before the meeting, so maybe they cannot answer now to this because they didn't test alone the tool. So I see that, for example, at least Francesco is having the camera on. So I can see your face. So do you want to tell us from Apulia region? We cannot hear you. It's closed, the mic. It's close the mic, so we cannot hear you. You have to open the mic in Teams. And thanks, Fanny, for sharing the link
okay,
here.
Okay.
Yes.
Grazie. Thank you, Maria.
Okay. So only this. I hope that you have participated to the Menti, because I see that the mean participation, we are around 20 people, that if we exclude the SoilWise team, yeah, it goes to maybe 15. How can I? Yeah. So maybe half of the people here has participated to the Menti. But yes, it was important also for me to understand the specific needs of these groups, this group, and what we are doing, if we are in line with the expectations. So I really thank the people who has participated. And I have also seen that at least three of you, is willing to contribute. So please write me an email and contact me directly so we can involve you. And yeah. And yeah, Francesco.
Okay, Maria. I contact you tomorrow. Lunedì ti do le mie conferme e poi ci sentiamo, ok? I don't speak good English.
That's fine, Francesco. Very good, very good. And yes, Fanny put in the chat also the link to the repository. So I think that apart from having a look during the demonstration, it's important that you by yourself use the tool and find out for suggestions, improvements, and as I said, give feedback to what is already there and how you think it could be improved. As I have shown you in the idea of having this improved tool is because in the geoportal, actually the Inspire geoportal, that was meant to make available soil data to the citizens and also to share this among different public authorities and contribute to the reporting of health states and so on. You can finally see that unfortunately, there is very few data, and it is not even really related to soil. And so this kind of activities is aimed to have better access to what is really there, because comparing to what we know as a user, as producer of this information for our countries should be there, we can see that in the Inspire portal there is few things. Or even none for France, for example, there is none. And yes, so the idea is to have a tool instead that could collect also what is made available by the country through their portals. In the case of Italy, I only showed the national portal, but the different 20 regions of Europe, several of these regions have also their own portals. So there are portals available at subnational scale. So yes, there could be that more data could be shown in the SoilWise repository. And as was mentioned from someone of you in the Mentimeter, maybe a kind of more filter of what is really important would be needed. And for example, from JRC, European Environmental Agency, they are asking us as SoilWise to define authoritative datasets in the sense that they would like to have from this group specifically such a flag to what we consider as real important datasets, because we say that these datasets is really relevant and approved by the producer, the national competent authorities for our countries. So, and also how to do this, how to produce a pipeline, a collaborative way of having this search tool enabled, so that also a policymaker at European level can go and find out what is really produced by the countries, not by anyone, because we know that soil data now is produced by anyone. There are a lot of initiatives also for mapping, by research, by private entities, and so on. So it is really important also to know what, among all the information that it is available online, it's really the one that is approved nationally. So this is the meaning of this authoritative. But it's quite difficult. We as a project, research project, we are not entitled to define what it is authoritative. So it's important to make a system by which the entitled institution can flag and decide what it is authoritative and what not. So, for example, this is some activity in which there could be a good collaboration with this group. Yeah, so this is, for example, one of the suggestions that I put now on the table for this group of collaboration. And yes, I have spoken a lot, and so I would like to have also, again, a feedback from the group. And maybe also Fanny or Paul can also contribute specifically to this term of the definition of authoritative data sets and how could be implemented actually. Yes, Paul.
Hi, good afternoon. I had a bit of a comment before that you mentioned during your presentation that you were lacking some filters to find exactly the content that you were looking for. And this is this is an important topic because we need to understand which filter you are lacking and to identify in the metadata if those attributes are available in the metadata. And we foresee automated mechanisms to enrich metadata at the SoilWise side, where we can deduce this type of parameters from the context of the metadata. So potentially we were able to improve that situation, but it's very important to clarify your needs. What do you want to filter on?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've seen, for example, that there are these, for example, the facets, so the kind of data, and a filter on geography. But I remember that there were discussion of making other kind of filters, right? So I think that maybe this is the kind of activity that you are proposing now, right?
Yes, and geography is always a very interesting aspect because on one hand there's the aspect of geography, where is the data located. On the other hand, there is the aspect of jurisdiction, who is the owner or maintainer of the data, and sometimes these things do not fully align. So let's talk a bit about that later. But this is for sure an interesting topic.
Giovanni.
So a question to Paul and to the other. What's about allowing users to quote data sets? Would it be possible to add a user quotation of the data set so they download and define it good data set or bad data set, something like that?
Yes, it's funny that you bring in this aspect because we had that on the previous iteration. We had like a feedback mechanism below the data set, but we noticed that it was a bit hidden and a quite technical concept. So this is now replaced by the feedback button in the sidebar. This is the place where you can provide the feedback about the data set.
And yes, actually, I was remembering that we were also having this linkage to the GitHub. You refer to this, right? That one can go and improve the data sets and the description and metadata of some data sets. Yeah.
Yeah, but this was generally perceived as too technical, so we made it a bit simpler, the feedback mechanism.
Yeah, but indeed is needed. For example, I found out in this research in these days that there is a data set that I would like to actually improve. But then you would allow only the entitled people, so the owner, the ones that have produced actually these data sets. Otherwise, how can you open this feedback? Or you have a different kind of feedback from a general user or feedback from the owner, I don't know, something like this.
Yes, and that's what I like about the bit of discussion. So under a data set, so you instantly publish the feedback that is given. So it indicates to other users, potential users, that already this feedback has been given. So you don't keep reproducing this feedback. But it for sure will be something that we will evaluate at the end of this iteration.
Okay. Okay, I see that there are no more hands raised. I mean, we have done much faster than I foresee. I foresee 2 hours. We made in 1 hour. But yes, as I said, I want to replicate this meeting, this demonstration, because unfortunately today is overlapping with this meeting of AONET. I was not aware about this when I planned the date. And so I will have another demonstration involving also this network, which is very important for soil reporting. And yeah, so maybe we can meet again during this more demonstration. And in this case, if you will participate again, I think that it's important that you enter the repository before the meeting so you can have a look and find out things and participate as expert users, so people who already have tried to use the tool, so can also give us a feedback. Yes. And well, the other topic that I also mentioned is the template. So how to share data. This is also another important thing that we are working with, which is actually not so easy task. But I see that also from the Mentimeter there is interest on this. So the main important things were mentioned was the repository and also the template. So maybe we could also organize some specific interaction on this topic. So some on the repository and some on the template for harmonized data sharing. And yeah, so if there is no more interaction, maybe we can just close like this. We were very efficient. And I will send you again other invitation in the next months. And yes, the people who was willing to yes, Tuna said about the language, that maybe we can have also meeting specific, for example, in my case, with the Italian people. Yeah, that's also a good thing. But yes, the main people here are not from Italy, actually. So we have Francesco, but yeah, we have also Nicola Ritano, I see. But the main are not Italian, so. But yes, maybe with Francesco we can have a specific meeting to interact directly, and also with Nicola. Yes. Yes, it's writing. Okay, good. Good. But yes, also from the other countries, I think that it's important to have for your specific countries for which you know what should be there in the repository, to have a look and find out if it's present in the repository. So, and check, as I was mentioned by Paul, give feedback for this, what you find out for your countries, respective countries. And yes, again, the ones that in the Menti wrote down that want to really participate and for feedback, write to me. So we will know we can involve people also more frequently, the ones that are interested to participate. Okay, so thanks a lot. I think that I can also stop recording, and yeah.
Thank you, Maria.